Hey, my Liptons. I wanted to come in here and do a Stranger Things season 5 part 1 review. So listen, I know I put on my community tab that, to give y'all the option of voting, like whether I should review each episode or should I just, watch the entire part 1 and put up the review. And honestly, because I binge watched the whole thing, I was just like, you know what? Let me just review the whole part 1, 4 episodes altogether, make one video of it, okay? So, I know I've been gone for a minute, but listen, I've been gone for a minute, but now I'm back with the jump off. So please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Let's get up to 2,000 subscribers. Okay, I'm still here. I'm still here. Okay, I'm still here. Okay, let's get the YouTube channel growing. So, listen, there's so many things to talk about, but before I get into this review, okay, I know. Listen, my free Palestine girlies, okay, and my boys, I understand y'all didn't want us to, especially me out because I was talking real big saying that I was gonna boycott Stranger Things and things like that. Listen, I'm boycotting quite a few things. I'm boycotting Dove. I'm boycotting Colgate. I'm boycotting McDonald's. I'm boycotting Starbucks. I've been doing it for like the past like damn near 2 years. Okay, so because Netflix, I'm not gonna lie, Netflix has been getting me hooked with the documentaries, and I just always been a Stranger Things fan, so I was just like, you know what, let me just watch it. And I get it, low key me viewing the thing is putting money in these Zionist pockets. But here's the thing, on the bright side, look at the silver lining. After this, Noah Schnapp will not be famous anymore. Okay, after this, because I do not see. Can we be honest? I do not see Noah Schnapp and the guy that plays Murray. I don't even know his name. That's how that's how relevant he is outside of this freaking show. I don't see them booking anything. It's no shade. It's no shade. I don't see them booking anything outside of the Stranger Things franchise. So it's like, after this, they're really gonna be afterthoughts. No shade. I think apart from like maybe Millie Bobby Brown, and the guy that plays Lucas, maybe, I don't know. And then Wiona, some of these girls are already veteran actors, but as far as like Noah Schnapp and all these other, it is no shade to them, but it's like they really don't be getting booked and busy outside of Stranger Things. So they're gonna be afterthoughts very soon. So yeah, let them have their time, let them have their moment, their 15 minutes, and then we're gonna move on from them. Honestly, truly, okay. But let's get into this review, okay? Because I did watch it, okay. Now let me tell y'all guys this, my Liptons, okay. If y'all see Stranger Danger. This is Stranger Danger. If y'all see Stranger Danger coming up y'all way, y'all better run like hell. Okay? If y'all see this man in this suit, Mr. What's It, that it's not Mr. What's It, it's Mr. Stranger Danger. Okay? Let me tell you guys something. This season, season 5, part 1, the 4 episodes, this gave very much so Stranger Danger, like don't open the door for strangers, like it gave so very much that. And I don't, I guess, like, because there is this conversation happening right now on the internet about like the subtle, and it's no shit, I kind of noticed it too, and I even wrote it in my notes at various moments, and I was like, I'm not thinking too deep into it. But then when I went on Twitter and stuff like that, people were talking about like how, like, I don't know, like the subtle messages of like low-key grooming and like the Stranger Danger thing. Like I peeped it when I was watching it. So I'm glad I'm not the only one that felt that way. But yeah, Vecna, Henry, whatever you want to call him, he was giving very much so Stranger Danger in the first, like literally throughout the season 5 of part 1. So, let's get into it. So first, the first episode starts off 1983. Listen, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. The CGI, there were some points in this season where like the CGI was kind of wonky. D&D, I don't know what's going on. The CGI was a little bit wonky. This fucking the aging CGI of Will in the first episode, you can notice it. Like you can tell like they didn't do a good enough job, kind of making it look real. Like you can tell it was made by like a freaking computer. Like it was just like, come on, y'all. Like, yeah, way too much money for this thing to be looking like this. But yeah, we saw a de-aging Will in the first episode, fighting the Demogorgon, running away from the Demogorgon, and then the Demogorgon got him. And it kind of starts off with that, and then Vecna Scary Ass shows up, and it's a flashback scene. Then we move on. We fast forward to 1987, and listen, Ted is over it. Okay, Ted is over it. He has Joyce. He has Joyce's kids. He has all these kids living in his house. He is over it. Okay, and he's like, listen, can we kick them out the house? I'm just tired right now. I'm tired. So then we move forward. So there's this Mac Z military base that's not only like in the physical world, but also in the upside down. So they set up a base in the upside down. And let me tell you guys something. There is this funny ass tweet that said that they set up a military base in the upside down to extract oil. Okay. And I fell out when I saw that tweet. I fell out. Now listen, Dustin's mopey ass, here he comes with this fucking Hellfire shirt. And they're like, listen, stop wearing that fucking shirt. Like, we're over it. Dustin's trying to prove a point. He misses Eddie. Listen, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I wasn't too impressed by Eddie in season 4. I just really didn't care too much about his character. So basically, freaking Lucas walked up like a freaking G.I. Joe character to save Dustin from the bullies. And then we have the poster of Jane, aka Elle, missing. And at first I was like, oh my goodness, Elle's running away from the feds. You got the feds after her. So they're after her. They want her. Okay, they want her. So it then comes out that Jane is training to go face to face with Henry, aka Vecna. I wrote here, and this is where we get to the Nancy, Steve, and John. Let me tell you guys something. This is so annoying, and I hate when shows do this. I hate this fucking love triangle thing that they're doing with Nancy and Steve and Jonathan. Like, it's so stupid to me. Personally, for me, I just always like Jonathan and Nancy together. And I hate that, like, now y'all trying to bring this fucking teenage love, like, triangle thing going. Like, and it's just like, I feel like their characters don't need it. Like, they don't need it. Like, I feel like Steve has grown in his own right. Jonathan has grown in his own right. And Nancy has grown, and to kind of, like, regress their characters into like this love triangle thing and trying to make, I don't know, Jonathan out to be this kind of like dud. Like, it's annoying. I found that whole scene to be annoying. Next, I wrote here, finally they mentioned Michael Jackson doing the Diana Ross cold riddle and the Rock and Robin thing. Listen, I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't know if it's like an estate thing or something like that. But I was very surprised, like, when I first started watching Stranger Things for the very first time, like, there were no Michael Jackson songs in the fucking series, like, throughout season 1 to season 4. Because I'm like, let's be very clear. The biggest star at that time was Michael Jackson in the 80s. So I was like, where is the off the wall songs? Where is the, especially Thriller? Like, are you serious? The Thriller album? Where was any of those songs? And all the season 1, season 4, but I guess finally, something is better than nothing. They finally got us a cute little Michael Jackson song, Rock and Robin, and they gave us a Diana Ross song. You know me, I'm not too much of a big Diana Ross fan, but whatever. So Steve is having a little bit of doubt about, Vecna being back. He feels like, listen, Will ain't got the goosies anymore. Like, it feels like Vecna is like donezo. And listen, I wrote here, Vecna got Holly. Let me tell you something. Vecna got Holly speaking to herself. Like, Vecna got Holly speaking to the clouds, speaking to the invisible, like, got her down bad. Okay? And it's just like, at first I was like, okay, who is this person that she's talking to in this suit? Who is this in this suit? Okay? So I wanted to know who it was. Oh, then we move on to Dustin. Let me tell you something. Dustin, I will give you an E for effort. I will give you an E for effort. You did get some licks in when the jocks and the fat boys came to whoop your ass. Like, you definitely got some licks in. I can't lie. But, however, you did get your shit rocked. Okay? No shade. You did get your shit rocked in that fight. So now Hopper is in the upside down. And then by this time, Will, like, that's when I'm like, wait a minute, is Will kind of like directing the Demogorgon to get his family? That's why I was just like, oh my god, like, I hope they figure out Will is the one that's kind of mind controlling the Demogorgon. That's what I thought at first. So the Demogorgon comes and it's coming for Holly. It's coming for Holly. And, Ted and Karen, oh my gosh, Ted was outside, swinging golf balls while Karen is up in her bath, drunk as hell, listening to her music, wants to fucking slide into her bath. And I'm just like, y'all don't hear this? Y'all don't hear y'all daughter literally getting bounced around in her room like a basketball right now by this Demogorgon, okay? So finally, Holly, after great strength, ran out of that house. She ran out of that room and went to her mother saying, listen, the monster. Karen was like, oh, it's just in your mind. And I'm like, no, Karen. Karen, it's not in her mind. It's not in her mind. Then when she saw that blood from Holly's head, she was like, oh no. Here comes this Demogorgon. They got the Demogorgon in. The Demogorgon comes and then they couldn't hide nowhere because it was in the bathroom. So they ended up, because it was a bubble bath. So Karen and Holly ended up going under the bath and holding their breath. And I was like, oh my God, hold your breath for long. Hold it. Okay. There are world records of people holding their breaths for longer. Hold it. Okay. So then Ted tries to come. Finally, Ted, something wakes up in that mind and goes up to the house with his golf club and tries to swing at that Demogorgon. When I tell you that Demogorgon sliced Ted up on his gut, okay, sliced him right up. Sliced him up. Karen and Holly tried to make a run for it. When I tell you the Demogorgon was like, absolutely not. The Demogorgon came. When I tell you, the way Karen slipped and fell in that kitchen, I was like, ouch. Okay, because let me tell you something. Yesterday, I slipped and fell in my bathroom, and right now, I got my freaking finger is swollen right now. So I understood where she was going. I understood her completely, okay, when she slipped and fell in that kitchen. So when Karen slipped and fell, she tries to protect Holly. She breaks that wine glass. She gets to stabbing that Demogorgon. And I was like, you know what, Karen, this is very brave of you. You did your big one. But because Will ended up telling Nancy, hey, like, Demogorgon's coming for your family. They ended up making a drive for it at the house. Nancy and Elle come to the house. And then Nancy sees her mother all bloodied up on the floor. Like, that Demogorgon shook shit up, okay? Shook it up. That Demogorgon sliced up Karen, sliced up her gut, sliced up her throat. And I'm not going to lie to you. I was shocked that she survived it. Like, and that's considering both Ted and Karen. Like, the way the Demogorgon, it sliced them up. It sliced them up. And that's something I will talk about towards the end of the show, where like this, like, where you think someone is dead but they're not really dead. Like, I don't know, that kind of annoys me. It's like, if you're gonna kill somebody, I'll kill them off. Like, kill them off. So fast forward, they take Karen and Ted to the hospital. Freaking Nancy's all distraught. I'm not gonna lie to you, Mike was not as I don't know if it's shock or something, but Mike was just like, oh, we could have done better. But like, he just wasn't as distraught as I thought he would be. And then I wrote here, Will. At first I was like, is Will the Demogorgon? Like, how was he able to access the Demogorgon's mind? And then they were talking about the hive mind and everything like that. How Will has access to Vecna's mind, and then by proxy has access to the Demogorgon's mind. So then, they're trying to find Dustin. Dustin finally shows up to Steve and Jonathan, all battered and bruised. Nancy and Mike, because the Demogorgon ends up taking Holly, right? Ends up taking Holly to the upside down. Elle follows the Demogorgon and Holly to the upside down. So they were discussing how, like, who would be the one who is that Mr. What's-It person? What is the link? Why is he the one giving Holly the heads up on saying that the monsters are coming? So they then go talk to tried to talk to their mother. Nancy and Mike tried to talk to their mother, Karen. But the hospital's just telling them, oh, they can't go in, like they can't speak to her, like her larynx is fucked up, like she can't talk. So they then disguise themselves as being a nurse and a patient. They end up getting access to their mom. I wrote here that so, and then there's a scene where Will and Robin have the gay talk because Will ended up walking in on Robin kissing her girlfriend and things like that. So I wrote here as well, Will was seeing through Holly's eyes. And then I don't know, because I was confused. So in the beginning, I was like, is Will Vecna? Like, is Vecna in Will's body? So I wasn't too sure about that. So when Nancy and Mike were speaking to their mom, they were able to get their mom to kind of write out, like how was Holly describing Mr. Whatsit? Like, is he like, what is his name? That sort of thing. And thank God Holly told him the name. So Karen ended up writing out Henry, and Henry, who is Vecna. So I wrote here, first of all, why is Henry out here abducting children? Why is he out here abducting children? Stranger danger, bringing him to his fucking, like, his childhood home and things like that. It was giving weird. Okay, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, it was giving weird. That's why I wrote stranger danger here last night, because I was just like, what is this giving? And then there's a scene, like, and the reason why I say stranger, honestly, I think my thumbnail, I'm gonna write stranger danger Vecna. That's what I'm gonna write, because in the scene when they're in the house, he makes her breakfast, they're eating, they're talking, like, it was getting very weird. And I can see why a lot of people might have an issue with, like, the subtlety of that shit. Like, it's giving, like, grooming, low-key, like the subtle messages and things like that. So in the next episode, they're talking about the hive mind and Vecna's mind, and Vecna now has his eyes set on Derek. Okay, let me tell you guys something. Derek had me fucking cackling this season. I'm not gonna lie to you. He had me fucking cackling. Like, I was laughing my ass off throughout the show. Because now Vecna already took Holly. Now he wants Derek, who is a classmate of Holly. Now Holly, they call him dipshit Derek. He's annoying and stuff like that. So Will tells the gang that, like, saying, listen, like, we need to save Derek, like, we need to come up with a plan to save them. And they're like, you know what, they're not just gonna, like, listen to us. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna have to drug Derek and his family, pull them out of there, so that when the Demogorgon comes, we can trap it, we can kill it, whatever. It can lead us to the upside down, lead us to Holly, that sort of thing. So they start preparing for that. And then Jonathan and Murray comes with his tools and that sort of thing. Murray's somewhat of a comedic relief. And honestly, I'm glad they kept it that way, because it's like, I'm over his character low key. And then they show us this scene. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was like, oh my God, Jonathan. Jonathan has this ring. It looks, he wants to propose to Nancy. But, it's giving instability with Nancy right now, because now Nancy don't know and this is why I hate this fucking love triangle thing and why they did it this way. Because I'm like, bro, like, y'all should have left this for, like, season 1, season 2. Like, we moved on from this. But yeah, like, it's giving instability right now. So yeah, so Dr. K, we have Dr. K, who is, like, the head of the Max Z, the military base. She wants 11. So then, and then when Elle goes into the upside down, she meets Hopper, right? She meets Hopper. They're bickering, that sort of thing. Then the military comes. They hit a wall. And they believe that the Demogorgon took Holly through the wall. But the thing is, they don't have access through that wall. So then they see that the military is now coming. And I don't know how, but the military ends up having basically 11's kryptonite. Like, it's like this thing, like, it basically incapacitates her. So it's like she can barely move. She can't use her powers or anything like that. So then Hopper ends up taking the lead, and when I told you he starts shooting it up, he was fucking it up. He ended up destroying the kryptonite from the tank of the soldier's tank. So that's how they end up taking one of the soldiers as captive. And the soldier's very bigoted. It's giving very much X-Men tease. Oh, that's a freak. That's a da da da. So, 11 ends up hijacking the soldier's mind and finding out who Dr. K is and what she wants and that sort of thing. And she ends up low-key breaking the soldier's mind temporarily. And Hopper then comes to her and says, "Oh, what happened? What's going on?" And then she says, "Oh, the military has Vecna." And I'm like, the military has Vecna? But it didn't make sense at the time. So I was like, okay, I guess we're going to go with that. Holly then we're going to move on to Holly. So Holly in Henry's world, she's out here dancing it up in the house because he ends up leaving. He tells her, "Listen, whatever you do, do not leave this house and go to the woods, because the monsters are there. They're gonna eat you, and I'm gonna go get your friend Derek to come and help you out, so that we can all be together." So he leaves. She's in the house, and then she gets a letter in the mailbox saying like, "Hey, like, I guess pretending to be Henry, but she doesn't know it, saying that, oh, you need to come to this spot X and meet me there, Henry." But she's like, "Oh, but Henry told me not to go to the woods, so why should I go?" Blah, blah, blah. She was feeling very conflicted. And then by the next thing you know, she was like, "You know what? I'll just go." She ends up putting this cape around her. It was giving very much Little Red Riding Hood. She puts the cape around her. She goes into the woods, goes there. And then we're going to circle back to there. So then, okay, back to the real world. So the gang ends up telling Lucas's sister, Erica, he's like, "Listen, we need to find a way to drug Derek and his family. Like, we need to find a way. We know that you previously were friends with Derek's older sister, so you're gonna have to make peace with her, and we're gonna have to drug them." So they ended up putting drugs in a pie. They put the drugs in a pie. Erica came to the house with her fake tears, saying that, "Listen, like, let's make peace, blah, blah, blah." So the whole family ends up eating the cake. They end up eating the cake except for the sister, who is Erica's friend. Her name is Trina. Everybody eats the cake. Trina is just, and I was getting so annoyed. I was like, "Trina, if you don't eat this goddamn pie, and stop playing with me." She refused. She was like, "I don't want to get fat. You trying to make me fat so I don't get a boyfriend, blah, 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 blah." So the pie ends up doing this big one. It takes out the father. It takes out the mother. It takes out Derek. And then Trina is like, "What the hell is going on?" And I was like, "Oh my God, Erica, please tell me you have a plan B. Please tell me you have a plan B." Well, thank God she did. She had that fucking injection. She was like, "Listen, I told you to eat your damn pie." She sticks that thing in Trina's neck. Boom. Ends up knocking out. They kidnapped them, put them in the freaking car. When I tell you they destroyed this whole house. They destroyed it to get it prepared for the Demogorgon. So then, we get to the point. So listen, there was also, the dynamic between Joyce and Will. I'm not gonna lie. It's like, I don't know. I see both sides to it. Like, was Joyce overbearing as fuck? Yes, she was overbearing. She was overprotective. It was getting to a point where it was getting annoying. But at the same time, I felt like I get it because, like, listen, like, Will went through a lot, kidnapped and everything like that. All the struggles that he went through, so she just wants to protect him as a mother. So I get it. But at the same time, it's like, girl, like, please, you're doing too much. So I end up writing here, the gang ends up putting belt to ass on the Demogorgon, okay? Because the Demogorgon comes, it starts off with Lucas, goes down, freaking Mike ends up, taking that shovel, swinging, boom, hits the barbed wire. Nancy shoots. Jonathan sets it ablaze. comes up again. Mike swings it again with a shovel. Okay, it bounces, and then they end up then Steve, Nancy, and Jonathan. They end up getting in the car. They end up following the Demogorgon into the Upside Down. Okay, so now after they kidnap the family, they take it to like this barn or something like that. So then, no, I'm sorry. Before Dustin and Steve follow the Demogorgon goes after Dustin. Okay, because Dustin ends up waking up and he starts tussling with freaking Will and Joyce and Robin and Erica. He ends up tussling. He's like, "Oh, y'all are kidnappers. Y'all kidnapping. Y'all gonna go to jail," which is true. But at the same time, they're kidnapping you for your own goodwill. So the Demogorgon tries to come over there, and and they kind of get it under control. The Demogorgon runs out. Freaking Steve drives into the Upside Down with Nancy, Dustin, and Jonathan. So, all right. So the next part, hold on. Right. So apparently Vecna wants 12 kids. Like, he wants 12 kids to, I guess, occupy his mind and to build an army. So now the military believes that it's Jane is the one that is doing this whole thing. So now they're using the kids as bait to lure 11 out so that they can, I guess they want to kill her. I don't know if they want to do an experiment on her or kill her. I don't know what they want to do. I don't know what Dr. Kane wants to do. So I'm not sure. So we get to the point where Holly went to the woods, because she feels like Henry is the one that has sent the letter out for her. She goes to the woods and she comes across like this, like, I guess, cave-like thing. But then she sees something behind it and she ends up running away. And then we always see his boots. And I'm like, oh my God, girl, run. I don't know what it is. She runs and she tries to hide. But then it turns out it's Max. And I was like, okay. So apparently it was Max was the one that wrote the note to Holly. So apparently Max's spirit, I don't know, her spirit or her soul is in Vecna's memory. And it's basically Vecna's prison, like Henry's prison. And they didn't explain it. I think they're probably going to explain it for part 2. But there's a reason why Max is stuck at that cave and why Henry doesn't want to go inside that cave. I'm not sure why. They're going to explain more. So, but yeah, he's trying to kill her. Okay, Henry's trying to kill her. Also, they played the Kate Bush song. Let me tell you guys something. I'm so sick of this Kate Bush song, that running up that hill song. Like, can y'all hang it up, Max? Don't you have any other songs that you like? Like, girl, I'm over it. They play the song again for her memories, and Lucas playing the song when she was in the bed and she was looking through that memory. But then when the song turned off, it ended up going away. I was like, yes, go away, because I'm tired of this stupid Kate Bush song. I'm so over it. Like, I'm so over it. So the cave memory. Okay, so Vecna won't come into the cave. Not sure why. Hopefully they explain more in part 2. Also, so we also get to the point where the military man who Elle and Hopper kept captive ends up getting released, and I'm like, oh my God, yeah, I should have killed him. I wrote here, Derek be having me weak. Listen, Derek be having me weak, okay? The jokes were definitely there. So Derek and the gang end up concocting a plan. So once the military kidnapped those, the kids in the community, so Derek and the gang wanted to get the kids who were seen by Mr. Whatsit, or who were touched by Mr. Whatsit, to basically save those kids, right? So they ended up going, down under, breaking into the military base through the bathroom floor. So Derek ends up, finding the kids that have been, had contact with Mr. Watson. So they break the bathroom floor, but they ended up, oh my gosh, they ended up hitting the pipe in the floor, which ends up freaking causing a flood in the bathroom. So Derek is trying to get the kids out, trying to get the kids into the bathroom floor to get to save them. Mike and Will end up having to freaking control the pipe because so that the flood doesn't cause like a whole ruckus and like the soldiers get alerted. But then one of the kids there saw that there was a flooding, and then when she went into the bathroom, she saw Mike and Will there. So then she alerted the soldiers, and Derek saw. So Derek tries to run inside the bathroom. The military man, the soldier guy comes. He tries to open the door. They're trying their hardest, and I was like, "You're not gonna win this. Like, this guy's a soldier. Yeah, y'all not gonna win this. You're not gonna win this." Had 3 soldiers. They opened the door. They end up falling. So they ended up arresting. They got Will, Mike, Derek, Joyce. They got Lucas ends up escaping through with like 2 other kids through the tunnel, but they end up escaping. But then, Will gets his freaking goosies again, and starts directing the Demogorgons. So the Demogorgons come, okay, and when I tell you, it becomes an all-out war ends up breaking out between the Demogorgons and the military. They were shooting, and this is the part where it wasn't making any sense. I was just like, first of all, and I was like, and this is the military, right? And I'm like, y'all can clearly see this shit is not having any effect on the Demogorgons. Y'all need to come up with a plan B. I don't know, like, stop. It's like that scene from Hercules. Y'all remember Hercules, the Disney movie Hercules, when Hercules kept chopping off the monster's head, and it kept growing and growing, and the monster's heads kept growing, and then Pegasus just ended up not Pegasus, the guy, whatever, Phil told Hercules, "Would you forget the head slicing thing?" That's what I was like saying when I was watching this. I'm like, can you forget the head slicing thing? Like, y'all are shooting these Demogorgons. It's clearly not having any goddamn effect. So they ended up shooting. And I'm actually surprised nobody got shot. Because, I mean, as far as like the gang and the kids and stuff like that. Because it's like, bullets were flying everywhere. Okay, the Demogorgons were whooping ass. Okay? So then we fast forward to Elle and Hopper, right? So the soldier that ended up getting himself released comes in contact with Dr. K. They inform Dr. K. They turn on the kryptonite thing again, which ends up decapitating, which ends up making Elle weak. So then Hopper, he and the army guys end up going at it. And then one of the experiments that Dr. K is experimenting on ends up taking a hold of Hopper, choking the life out of Hopper. That ends up happening. Dr. K sees Elle. Elle can't use her powers because of the kryptonite. Elle ends up taking the scissors to stab Dr. K. Hopper is able to get himself out by hitting the switch. Gets himself out. Pistol whips Dr. K. Tells Elle, listen, I'm going to go into that door that army sergeant said Vecna is in. I'm going to go into there and I'm going to blow it up, and I'm going to blow myself up with it. And then Elle is like, no, you can't do that, Hopper. Hop, no. So he's like, Jane, I love you. I'm going to do it. So he goes, and I'm like, oh my God, he's going to blow himself up. But then when the door opens, Hopper's still alive. And I'm like, wait a minute, why is he still alive? So then he allows Elle to go into the door. And when she opens the door, it's 8, her sister. What's her name? Callie? Yeah, so Callie is alive and well. So apparently they have been using her powers to kind of make Elle weak. So Yeah, Dr. K has been doing a lot behind the scenes, okay? Dr. K has been doing a lot. Next, we go back to the battlefield where the military and the Demogorgons are going at it, okay? So they end up trying to burn one of the Demogorgons, and Will ends up, when I tell you Will ends up freaking, like, shaking in his boots, okay? That thing was affecting him. It was affecting him bad, okay? And when I tell you Vecna ends up coming out strutting down the path like a male model. Let me tell you something. The costume design is way better this time around compared to season 4. Like the design, the makeup, everything is way better. Like Vecna looks way more scarier, snatched, like just way better this time around. The makeup was definitely, I gotta give them their 10s on that. Vecna comes, kills the military men, blows them up, freaking brings back the Demogorgons that have been burnt, that were shaking in their boots, brings them back up. And then the military men, they were trying to shooting up Vecna again as if that was going to do anything. And basically I wrote here, Vecna whoops everybody's ass, just whoops everybody's ass. Lucas gets sliced up by a Demogorgon in the tunnel. Then Vecna, Joyce tries to save Will from Vecna. Vecna whoops Joyce's ass right out the way. So then Vecna ends up taking Will and basically telling Will, like, the reason why he chose him first, the reason why he's choosing children is to reshape the world because children are weak, which is a very grooming mindset to have. And then he basically said that some minds belong in Vecna's, which he was talking about. Will's mind belongs in Vecna's because his mind is because he feels like Will's mind is too weak. So he ends up throwing Will out. Vecna goes back down to the upside down. He took all the children that he wanted for his project. He was able to have them. So then the Demogorgons looked like they were about to slice up everybody. Mike, Lucas, Robin. It looked like, I was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And then finally, when I say Will controlled it, he controlled it. Okay? I had to give Noah Schnapp, I'm not going to lie to you. I don't like you. I don't like you. I don't like your face. But you control, even though your acting was kind of subpar, low-key in some scenes, okay? And it's all shade to the world because you deserve the shade. There was some parts where Noah Schnapp's acting was very weak and flat in some scenes. But however, I will give him credit for this scene. He ate this one. Because like in this scene, I guess, I honestly, this will be the time, I think going into part 2, that Vecna will regret, trying to, make Will share his mind and all this extra shit. He's going to end up regretting that. Because when I tell you Will ended up getting those telepathic powers, okay? End up getting those telepathic powers and snap those Demogorgons up, okay? Oh, I know 11 must be happy to finally have backup. Let me show you guys something. 11 is tired, okay? She has been saving these people's asses for years, okay? It's good to have some goddamn backup, okay? She has her sister Callie. Now she has Will. Oh my God, 3 for 3. 3 for 3, okay? She is happy to have the back because she is tired. Like, listen, she has been carrying these people on her back for way too long. So when I tell you Will came in there snapping those Demogorgons' necks and wiping that blood off that nose, I was like, yes. I said, yes, God. Clock that T. We have no other choice but to stand, okay? I was here for it. And I can't wait for the next episodes to come out in December. But yeah, that is my ghetto review of the first 4 episodes of Stranger Things Season 5. Please tell me what you guys think in the comment section below. Please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Let's get up to 2,000 subscribers, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.